Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're grateful for your time this afternoon here on 97.1 FM Talk. We're asking you on the YouTube live chat poll and the text line, how much do you care about holding Fauci accountable? I'd love to ask that question of our next guest, Congresswoman Mary Miller. She represents Illinois' 15th District in the United States House of Representatives. Mary Miller, thank you for the time today. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to try to control my emotions and my anger about this. We all saw it when it was happening. It was demanded of us to deny reality when, it was easy that we could not connect the dots that they were, the narrative they were telling us about COVID and the whole treatment plan.
You know, Congresswoman, I'm thinking of maybe late February, early March that I think in Effingham. I believe you might have been there. There was a group, a rally of sorts your husband and other state representatives had to try to bring some common sense back to the conversation, as that group of legislators in the state of Illinois did. And it was, I think, the last public gathering that I went to was this Illinois common sense conservative movement. And then that was that forever in the state of Illinois. And it all comes back to Anthony Fauci. Our kids, our businesses, our livelihoods, all in the hands of the scientist, Anthony Fauci. What should happen next?
Throw the book at him. These are crimes against humanity on an unimaginable scale. And, Americans lost jobs. I remember a dad with 5 kids calling me. I believe he was a lineman. He did not want to take that vaccine. He had already had the virus. But I remember him saying to me, I feel choked up. He said, I only have a high school degree, and this is a really good job for me to support my kids. I don't want to take the vaccine. And he ended up taking it. And this was an experimental vaccine. Never before have I seen the medical establishment deny natural immunity like this, or ignore the risk factors for certain age groups, or just different groups in general. People lost their jobs. Businesses were closed. The damage that was done to our children.
Yeah.
Our children were set back, closed churches, and cut us off from one another is shameful, terrible. And then the worst thing is that loved ones were separated and their loved ones died alone. Unbelievable that this guy did this. He belongs in prison. And I think what's coming out and unfolding shows that he is an evil narcissist. And one of the things that I saw that he said about himself, first of all, he was so happy that he had a big front page article about me in the Washington Post. Very flattering. I got national, international fame. It's explosive. He said it's not hyperbole to say that today I, Anthony Fauci, am the most famous and talked about person in the country and one of the most recognizable persons in the world. Like, this guy is a nutcase. And not only that, he was the highest paid federal employee, $480,000. The guy was drunk with power, and somehow we allowed it to happen. Please, we can never forget. We can never, ever let this happen again.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Congresswoman Mary Miller speaking with us, Illinois' 15th District Representative. I don't think that we can ever fully measure the damage that was done by his very, very unwise guidance. But the diary shows that it was worse than a poor decision-making process. He was enamored with himself, obsessed with himself, a narcissist. Absolutely. I don't know that we needed the diary to really feel that, but we have read his words now, and we can certainly tell. Do you feel as though there is going to be some sort of conclusion, movement after this hearing that he is going to take place, that is going to take place? I feel very unfulfilled after a lot of these congressional hearings. It's like kind of a bickering slap fight, trying to watch, maybe some politicians make a political ad out of it down the road, and then it just kind of continues to sail on down the river. Is there anything that's going to come of this?
Okay. Well, I want to tell the people that congressional hearings are actually good because it peels back the layers and it shines a light on things that have been hidden, on the fraud and on the characters that have been controlling the levers of power in our country. And a lot of these hearings end up with referrals to the DOJ. And so there is a lot going on behind the scenes. We need more time. We have had a year and a half. For the first time in the history of our country, we have shrunk the government. We cut off USAID. We're unclosing all this fraud. People are being arrested, but it does take time. And we are working. We're making headway. And people have to show up and vote. I don't know what to say. There are foreign adversaries that are pretending to be conservative messengers. And also we have frauds on our side that for some reason want to hate President Trump or whatever. And they are trying to discourage the conservatives and the people that have common sense from wanting to be involved. They think their vote doesn't matter. We have to go vote. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Congresswoman Mary Miller speaking with us right now. Let me give you the opportunity to answer this question, Congresswoman. There is a clear difference between red and blue right now. I don't believe that there's really much intersection at all, at least in what the parties vocally stand for. There's nothing that Donald Trump can do that the Democrat Party would look at as a whole and say, we support that. There's no crossover. It doesn't exist. Going into, I think, 98 days till the midterm election, what's the stark contrast that you see up close and personal from Capitol Hill between what the Republicans want to bring to government and what the Democrats want to bring to government?
Well, we want a smaller government. We want transparency and accountability. We are about common sense. The border has been secured for the first time in 50 years, negative net migration. Millions of illegals are being deported. We have unleashed American energy, which everything goes back to energy. We want to restore, and we are making big headways in restoring law and order. We're standing up for parental rights for children, for our girls being able to participate in sports, for school choice and excellent public school education. All these things are the Democrats' agenda. Are the Republicans' agenda. The Democrats are literally kooks and communists. It will be a disaster if they get control again. I can't even stress to people enough. You have to go out and vote.
Yeah, Congresswoman, being a Republican in Congress from the state of Illinois, you're one of just a few who are there representing some common sense from the state of Illinois, from the voter. I want to ask you about the state election that's coming up here as well. I don't even really see J.B. Pritzker. It doesn't seem as though he's campaigning very hard. Of course, we have a Senate seat that is up as well because Dick Durbin is retiring. But there are a lot of local races that matter very much as well. If you're in the state of Illinois, if you're a resident in the state of Illinois, you probably feel dismayed. You probably feel a little bit hopeless. But in 98 days, when the midterm election is here, we can't afford to feel that right now. We have to stand up and do something. Talk to me or talk to the Illinois voter right now on what you want to see them do in order to try to wring some common sense out of this upcoming election.
Okay, if you don't show up to vote, for sure, Pritzker and his whole gang of kooks will be elected. It is a privilege and a responsibility for American citizens to do the minimum, and that is to inform yourself and go vote. And, if you aren't going to do the minimum, you cannot complain. And you're going to have to answer to your children and grandchildren because the country that we enjoy now, being free, we are the most prosperous country in the world, even though people are complaining about the economy. We are the most prosperous country in the world. And actually, all the economic indicators are turning toward the positive side for American people having more money in their pocket, more spending power. But it takes a long time to turn the direction of the country after 4 years, well, really 12 years, because Joe Biden's 4 years was Obama's third term, basically continuing his dream of fundamentally transforming the country. It takes a while to turn it around. Please, I beg you, go out and vote and get involved.
Yeah, you talk about doing the minimum. Voting is the minimum. If you know of a candidate that you really want to support, or if you know of a candidate you really want to defeat, I'm going to tell you, you got to do more than the minimum. But bring a friend to vote, show up and talk to people in a compassionate way about why you feel the way you feel, and be a part of the solution. At least at the end, win or lose, you know you did what you could.
Yes, be a force multiplier. Talk to your friends and family and neighbors and get them out to vote. And we should, at the precinct level how many ballots we need to bring in, and we need to make sure those people get them in. And you can donate money, you can make calls. There's a lot of things that people can do to help their candidates get elected.
That's exactly right. Congresswoman Mary Miller, thank you for always showing up here for your constituents on the East Side and for lending a voice to this show about what's going on in Capitol Hill. We're grateful for it.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Congresswoman Mary Miller, representative from Illinois' 15th District, on X at Rep. Mary Miller. When we break right now, we're going to go check the text line here in the next couple of minutes, because we asked you this question on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. You can vote youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. But we want your texts as well, your feedback. 314-241-9797 on the Annie Frey Show text line. Here's the question. How much do you care about holding Fauci accountable? Couldn't care less, moderately interested, completely invested, or accountable? Fauci's a hero. Take your Fauci underpants off and use some common sense and objectivity. Go vote. Send us a text. We'll be right back.